30 years ago, 20 years ago, most of the drugs that were bought, sold, used were derived from agricultural products. So marijuana from the marijuana leaf, cocaine from the coca leaf, heroin from opium poppy. Today, a large amount of the drugs that are available are derived from synthetics, so chemicals.
Synthetic opioids, which are extremely potent, the ones I think most people know are fentanyls, dwarf the power of drugs like heroin, which of course is dangerous enough. That has caused more overdose deaths in our country than any drug previous to it. And there's Xylazine, which is an animal tranquilizer, which is now mixed into the drug supply, particularly in opioids, causes awful open wounds. We do have naloxone, which is a rescue drug, but if it's a combined Xylazine opioid overdose, the naloxone has no effect on the Xylazine. Even more scary are the Nitazenes. These are drugs that were tried as painkillers, I think in the 50s, were too dangerous, never used, but now have resurfaced, and they can be 40, 50 times as strong as fentanyl. Unless you are extremely tolerant to opioids, you could not survive a dose of these drugs.
One of the mega trends we've seen is the move to pills or tablets. The reason that drug traffickers did that is because young people are comfortable taking pills, familiar with medications like oxycodone and Percocet and Xanax. And so they started to manufacture the fake pills that were made with fentanyl. The pills are marketed out there in very deceptive ways. They are positioned as one thing when in fact, that's not at all what they are.
Some people compare it to a game of whack-a-mole, where if you drive down the availability of one substance, another substance will pop up to take its place. So what you have is an ever-evolving landscape where there are constantly different chemicals that are being thrown in. As a result, it's really hard for parents to wrap their arms around this and really be able to be informed to have those important conversations with their kids.
So one pill can kill is in fact literally the case. But some parents are going to say, this is so upsetting and so frightening, I'm just going to pretend it's not there. It's very important not to do that. You really want it so that if your child is having a drug problem or experimenting with drugs or feeling pressured to experiment with drugs, that they wouldn't be afraid to tell you. You want them to tell you.
If they don't know that you care, they don't care what you think. So showing that you care starts by asking questions and validating their experience and validating their wisdom. People want to go to school on a Monday and talk about the crazy adventure they had on the weekend. They're either gonna get that from a party or they're gonna get that somewhere with you. And so bringing fun and novelty and excitement into their lives doesn't need to come from peer-to-peer circles. It could come from the family dynamic.
Getting on the same page as your kids' friends' parents as well, trading information, maybe they're hearing something that you're not, making sure that they also know about all the substances that are out there and what you're talking to your kid about at home and encouraging them to talk to their kids too, making sure that there's a united front. Just by doing that, you're a step ahead of the game. You really are, on the right track to really wanting to help your kid, to hold your kid's hand through all of this confusing landscape.